Content warning. The following video may contain content harmful or traumatizing to some audiences. Viewer discretion is advised. Fair use. Copyright disclaimer under Section 107 of the Copyright Act 1976. Allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, teaching, scholarship, education, and research. Fair use is a use permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringing.
Hey guys, what's going on? Back with another comment reply video. I haven't done one of these in a minute. Alright, so Nonconformist Radio wrote, "Hey man, great video. We see things a lot alike." Cool. Never Coming Back Here wrote, "But you advocate life here? What do you mean you think like him?" He replied that to him and also said, "You think it's only weak people who don't enjoy life here? You said so yourself in a video." I don't know what that dude's talking about or whatever. I don't know if it's only weak people that don't enjoy life here. I don't know. Never Coming Back Here commented, "Because the righteous people left in this hellhole are heavily suppressed and under daily attacks by the artificial hive mind. That's why, Chris." To the illusion of free will inside a prison video. I don't know what he means by that's why. That's why. To what question did I ask? I can't really remember, but Pax777 wrote, "Excellent combos." Oh, this is to my one of you and me video. "Greatly appreciated. Definitely seems like a spiritual battle, good versus evil. Evil is obviously in control using confusion, distraction, fear, anger, and control and manipulation. NPCs are real. They do not want to think/observe real reality. Deer caught in the headlights, blank stare, repeating memes, becoming upset over uncomfortable truths. Strange days indeed." I think we all do. I do too. I get upset about uncomfortable truths. Absolutely. That pisses me off. But I can deal with them. I don't go into a mental fucking fake zone. You know what I'm saying? Brownstone Bear wrote, "Nothing is safe here, brother, and nothing is sacred to those that have no empathy for suffering. This is truly a battle of a summation of an entire life, and it seems like on money mission. You did teach me two things in these past few years, though. For what it's worth, or what it's not, Christopher Sedaris, demon slayer of the deep southeast and dark swamps of the bayous. First off, you burly bastard, you helped me remember to belly laugh with passion again." Thank you, Ryan. I appreciate that. He wrote, "And to always challenge everything dark with my chin up and chest out. Amen." Like, fuck this thing and its mama. I don't know. How the hell else can I say that? I mean, that's the way I said it growing up. But he wrote, "Secondly, and most importantly to me, you taught me that I have always been searching for cover and comfort from the bombs always dropping on my dome in these 40 years roaming the desert, bro Hamilton. I grew up with the same struggles you did, as if it was some pre-planned script for a low-budget dark comedy, horror, romance, drama, thriller, sci-fi, Hallmark holiday special only released on VHS." He wrote, "Comfort zones are broke." VHS, man, you remember that shit? Jeez. It's like the fucking cartridges were like that big. Dude, I remember hooking up two of them shits at the same time, and you'd put in the one you rented from Blockbuster or whatever video store, and you'd hook up the second VCR and fucking press record on that one, and like you'd steal movies. I mean, you'd copy them. I don't know if you were allowed to do it, whatever. I never did that. What am I talking about? Oh, fuck the man. Anyways, he wrote, "Comfort zones and broken bones are a killer for real. Hold on to those special people in your circle down the Florida, brother. You are salt of the earth, and you already know it, sir." Thank you, Ryan. That was a beautiful comment. That meant a lot to me for what it's worth, and what it's not worth for what it was worth. It meant a lot to me. Thank you. Again, I get on here. I actually had to make like a warning on my channel. That's how bad reality actually is. That I had to say, "Hey guys, I'm kind of going in a new direction. I'm kind of just like going to cover truth stuff, so it's probably not going to be positive anymore." Like, I'm going in a more realistic approach on the YouTube thing. So I know, like, the thought of, oh, I'm making other people better all the time isn't even practical anymore, because I have to get on here and say bad news all the time. I have to report in, and so what am I trying to say? I'm trying to say it's good to know that I still positively affect people, because that's almost unrealistic, but I love that I do that. Eternal wrote, love you too. You seem to be making it work here better than I am right now. My copes with existence aren't very powerful because I don't like copes anymore. Yeah, even like you could say my cope is weed. Like I smoke weed daily to sort of cope with reality. It don't it don't help like 50%. Like it helps like 10%, 5% maybe. You know, it doesn't help a lot. It's a small cope. It's still a hell realm. It sucks here. But yeah, I guess I do sort of have this great ability to. It's true. I do. I have a great ability to be Cypher in the Matrix. To just not plug back in, because everything that I used to be interested in ain't interesting to me anymore. But I do have this sort of ability to not give a fuck anymore. Just be like, whatever. I can't do anything about it. I sort of have to have that ability. You know, one sec, guys. Give me one sec. I actually just got really good news. That doesn't happen very often, but I just got some really good news. So I'm in a good mood now. That was some great news. But anyways, T-Fetch wrote, Edward Louis Bernays. I don't know who that is. I don't know why he wrote that. What point he was trying to make. I'm not sure. And then T-Fetch wrote, I don't think we actually decide even our meals. Computers can detect what we will choose 7 seconds before the conscious mind even is aware of presented choice. A menu of 10 items. It write up the one you are going to choose before you choose it. So what the fuck? Oh, I didn't know. Is that true? How? How could a computer know what I'm going to choose 7 seconds before I choose it? That's weird. Cheryl Swoll wrote, thank you for saying this. So true. You're welcome, Cheryl. Yeah, like even that, you know, that makes me feel great. Because again, I hate being a party pooper. I'm actually like a people pleaser, believe it or not. I know that's hard to believe, but I'm actually like a people pleaser in real life. It's like getting on and being a truth channel. Let me get on there and tell everybody how fucking shitty this reality is. Nagarake wrote at 4:50, they feed off emotions in general. Fear and hatred is just the preference. The whole point is to bounce you between positive and negative emotions, feeding off the electromagnetic energy that's produced. That was a great comment. You know, maybe that's why when you go neutral, like when you go, what do they call it? Non-duality. I've been in that state of mind before, where there is no evil, there is no good, there's only balance. Like, it's a great state to be in. But to bounce us between good and evil, it's an uncomfortable state. He's right. It does sort of produce energy, wouldn't it? Yeah, if you're talking like emotions and loosh. That was a great comment. Honey Badger wrote, I watched a handful of documentaries around 2008, 2009 that really woke me up, pointing out things like chemtrails and fluoride in the tap water and seeing zombie NPCs just complacently going on with their lives as if something isn't very, very wrong here. That whole COVID shit fucking woke up a lot of people. Like it did, it woke up a lot of people. The whole shit that happened with Trump, like I know, they're all puppets of the Matrix simulation and all that, but that woke up a lot of people, dude. Like all that, people being stuck indoors all day. A lot of people became conspiracy theorists during this era of reality. Like there's a lot of good things happening. Like I should talk about something. Like, well, maybe it's unpractical to talk about all the good things in reality because there really is only like a handful, but it is awesome that a lot of people are waking up. And again, not everybody has to jump straight into fucking Soul Trap, Archon reality. Not everybody has to go head first into that to be cool and on my team. Like if you don't trust the government and you realize they're lying and being deceptive and evil, you're on my team. Like you're still a truth seeker. Because the news does not tell people that. So if people are aware of that, to me, they're still an honest human being. I hate like the division of one level of truthers from another. Oh, but he's only a baby truther. Like, well, why are you even saying like he's a truther? Yay! Like, anyways, I'm sorry, this name's like got my brain froze up. Delian Simmons wrote, everything you said I can relate, fam, keep it up. Thank you, Delian, I appreciate it. Carney Barbie wrote, yes, It's like Groundhog's Day. I hate it here. Yeah, me too. I don't know why that caught me funny. Never coming back here commented, replied back to her, more like they live, to be honest. Her superior Robin replied back to him, both. And Superior Robin wrote at Never Coming Back Here, and like all the movies, really all at once. I would agree more with that one. It's a bizarre. Well, anyways, Never Coming Back Here wrote, if you follow your life script, I don't think it's like Groundhog's Day. For those who have that thought, I don't know. I might be totally wrong. Wait, what? If you follow your life script, I don't think it's like Groundhog's Day. How? Well, unless you were like didn't have to work every day, how could it not be like Groundhog's Day? What do you mean? He wrote, for those that who have that thought, I don't know. I might be totally wrong. He wrote, I can't really wrap my head around how this reality work, and we never will with this limited brain. Oh no, I think we can with this limited brain. Some people can't though. It's weird. There's a handful of people that can do it with the monkey brain. I mean, isn't this channel, the people watching this channel, or channels like mine, like some people have figured out that something is going on here. Here, I'm just saying it doesn't have to be like Groundhog's Day. If you turn evil, you'll see life will open up to you and surprise you. I'm sure it will. Never coming back here. Is that what you did? Did you just say, fuck it, I'm going to be evil? I would say you're absolutely right. Your life would probably open up and be great if you became evil. He's probably absolutely right. I would say being evil, though, that's fucking disgusting. Superior, what are you doing that's evil? What are you doing that's evil? I would say. No, I don't think give in to your evilness. I think that's what the little weak, pathetic, fucking demonically possessed leaders in our country and in our world do. They give in to those demons. And look at the fruit that these fucking monsters produce. I don't want anything to do with them and their fucking disgusting behavior, but Superior Robin replied to Never Coming Back Here, well, some people say following your life script is bad, and you have to break away from the script. If you turn evil, life will open up to you and surprise you. She wrote, was that a typo? With question marks. I don't know. I think he was, I mean, that'd be a weird thing to typo. Like, where did he mess up? But anyways, she wrote, from your perspective, how is someone supposed to find their life script? Also, time has sped up incredibly. There is not time. Not only has time sped up, but it seems to be moving at different paces in different locations. I'm saying that because, like, I don't know, man, back in the day, you could set your clocks and they would all fucking be on the same time, like, all the time. But now, I don't know, the microwave's different than the stove. Both of them are different than the wall clock. Like, they're different. All three of them are different than my phone, which it's like, man, all my fucking clocks are always at different times now. But anyways, she wrote, there is not time for anything but working, eating, pooping, and sleeping. There literally isn't even time or energy in the day to desire to do something else. Time is speeding up so quickly. I must think the apocalypse must be soon. That, or we just have to suffer in a sped up realm, which is honestly way worse than when time moves super slow, because there's not. So I have a weird sense of humor. Some things catch me funny. I'm sorry. She wrote, because there's not time and energy for nothing but work, really. So what kind of things can you open up for me at this point? Sure, it seems like things are almost over. What's the point? I just want to survive to see the other side, where I do anticipate to have healing abilities and lasting youth. He replied back, time sped up. Yeah, for sure, I can feel it. It's very blatant. Yeah, I believe evil deeds are rewarded here. That's just what I think. I would agree with that. I don't know if it's, why do you think that? I'd say he thinks that because, I don't know, every fucking evil demonic person in this reality seems to do well in the reality. And if you're good-hearted and gentle and sweet, and especially if you have a loud voice, if you're like a famous person, you're like Bob Marley or Jimi Hendrix or like some big famous person, if you have a sweet heart and you're gentle and you're talking about peace and harmony and love, it ain't going to work out for you, especially if you got a loud voice. But that's a macro of the micro. It happens to everybody as individuals as well. Most good people will tell you that when you're good, people eventually start to take your kindness for weakness, or people think that they can pull one over on you, or and it's true. It's absolutely true. People will eventually try to take advantage of you. People will show their true colors eventually. For me, I'm grateful when they do that. I know I no longer have to associate with this individual. Techneck Lee wrote, I mean, I could be forgiving if they acknowledge, if they did something fucked up and they apologize, they acknowledge that, man, I messed up, blah, 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 but most people don't do that. Techneck Lee wrote, I haven't listened in over a year. Thought I'd check on. Yep, nothing has changed. Same whining descriptions with no prescriptions. Are you sure you aren't an NPC? How would I know? Like, how could you define how I could explain that I'm not an NPC? I have a perspective. I think I have a soul or an awareness. But an NPC, I think, could feel that way too. I mean, I don't know. So to answer your question honestly, no, I don't know that I'm not an NPC. I can't say for 1,000%. I don't think I am, obviously, because I'm looking at the world from my perspective. So, but same wine descriptions, whatever. And what do you mean by prescriptions? What were you expecting from my channel? Like, are you expecting the ultimate truth? Like from the channel that says there is no truth, and the closest that I can get to the truth is that this is some sort of trap, or it feels like a soul trap. I mean, that's a great explanation for it. But I don't know if there is a truth. So if you're coming to my channel for the ultimate truth, you're probably going to be coming back in another year saying I'm whining. But never coming back here replied back to Techneck Lee. He shouldn't have, honestly. You shouldn't even entertain stupid comments. But he wrote, what else is there to say? Why don't you upload videos if you know how to do it better? He replied back, why would I? Well, okay. I would say to Techneck, dude, do you walk up to like professional dancers and say, bitch, I can dance better than you? Like, don't you feel the need to back up what you're saying? Like, you can't just say some shit. So if you say, Chris, you're not saying anything relevant, you're whining. Okay, well then, motherfucker, why don't you tell me what's relevant? That's what he's saying to you. He's saying, well, go, then let us know, mister, you know some shit. That's what he's saying to you. Can't pick that up. Superior Robin replied, so what are you doing that is better? And he replied back to her, better with a question mark. Let me see how long this back and forth goes, guys. Okay, it's only a couple more. So, and then he wrote, well, Superior Robin wrote, well, you are implying there is a better way to deal with all this, are you not? A better way we should be going about things. And then he said, you call yourself superior, so I'll wait to hear what you advise. Wait, isn't that the one that was saying that? Yeah, that's the guy that started this conversation. What do you mean? Why are you expecting her to say something superior? Anyways, she replied back, laughed my ass off. I came up with that username when I was like 12, and I got absolutely nothing better. Survive, cope, vent, and wonder why the fuck you even bother surviving and coping. Oh, okay. I was wondering why he was... Okay, it was her name, Superior Robin. He said, you call yourself superior, so I'll wait to hear what you advise. Oh, dude, you just... Come on. Just answer the question. Well, what do you feel I could be saying that's more accurate or better? That's why they're saying you upload your video then. Like, I wouldn't talk shit to someone and say, oh, you're not good at doing what you're doing unless I could do it better. Or I had some sort of answer to rebuttal them and to own them in the situation, to school them logically. Like, come on, man. Like, use your fucking brain. Superior Robin replied back to my I like to watch videos like these because they make me feel less crazy and alone personally. Me too, Robin. I agree. There aren't too many people that think this way, talk this way. Most people don't even have the balls to be this way. Like, to be honest, like, how many guys do you know that would actually get on a camera and be so emotional about something they start tearing up, crying or whatever, and upload something like that? Like, I feel like I'm the most open, honest human in the fucking existence. Like, I'm not driven by all these retarded little scripts that I was told, oh no, to be a tough guy, you get, like, shut the fuck up, tough guy. You're talking to me about tough guy? Like, my dude, I was more of a tough guy when I was 12. I dealt with more violence when I was 10 than most fucking grown adults do, unless they actually went to war or something. Native Britannic Islander wrote, this is as close to original Buddhism as I ever heard. To my, the illusion of free will inside a prison. Really? Buddhism talks about what I'm talking about? Like, what? I doubt that. Like, what? I would have heard something about that one. I have, like, what is this Buddhism? Native Britannic Islander. I would like to know, what does Buddhism saying that I'm saying, or what am I saying, or whatever that Buddhism saying, I guess you would say, because Buddhism was around before I was, but does Buddhism talk about this reality being like evil, dark, fucking shithole, dookie boy realm, soul suffer, fucking bizarre, and how the avatars, well, anyways, like a machine programmed for us to be fucking, anyways. Philip Jones, I'd like to know what, if you guys know about Buddhism, let me know. I would be I'm just interested to know, what am I saying that they're saying. But Philip Jones wrote, chasing happiness is the demon's carrot. I agree. The stress isn't worth it these days. There's very little in this place that entices me anymore. And while that makes for a dull existence, it's also indicative of moving past this hole of a place. Oh, absolutely. What a great comment. I agree with that 1,000%. What Phil Jones just said. If you're looking at the reality like that's beneath me. That's beneath me. That type of behavior is beneath me. That level of intellect is beneath me. These people are literally meat monkeys. Or you're looking at the realm like, man, that this shit is so. I'm so far consciously past the realm. You've moved past the realm consciously. It may not feel that way from your perspective. Like, you still kind of feel like you're having the human experience, right? Like, I mean, you are, but something's different, right, within you. You've consciously moved past this realm. I don't think the soul trap would ever work on someone like us. I just don't. I don't think that we're that easily deceived. Like, we're just going to fall victim to some orgasmic feeling or deception. I think every fucking person watching my channel, when they die, they're going to have a second thought about what's approaching them, what's talking to them, what's trying to shift their movement into whatever direction it wants to. Why are you associating with me? Why are we having this exchange to begin with? What am I attached to that I can't remove myself from? What is this experience that I didn't ask for? User, it's a bunch of weird shit. It's illegible, but he wrote, ketamine showed me that we're not actually here. We're just manning these flesh suits from some other place hard to explain. Ketamine? What the fuck is that? Ketamine? Oh, ketamine's a hallucinogen, I think. Ketamine showed me that we're not actually here. We're just manning these flesh suits from some other place hard to explain. That's really not that hard to explain. You kind of explained it. We are somewhere. Okay, if we put on a VR helmet, we're not actually the mech warrior machine in the game. We're somewhere else. We're not in the Arizona desert shooting mech warrior lasers. But we're manning the machine, so it's very easy to explain. It's like we're playing a video game right now, some sort of VR experience. But you could say a very powerful one, one that a soul would play. And actually, I say it's very powerful, but it's really not. Like, we figured it out. This may be like Nintendo, bro. They may have fucking PlayStation 27, but this is a fucking old Nintendo game. Because honestly, the NPCs in it or the auto drones in it figured it out. It's not that advanced. But, or in this case, the VR participants, you would think if you were in a VR game that gave you amnesia before you went into it to entice the experience and make it more powerful and interesting and all that, wait a second, ketamine showed him that we're not, okay, well, where were we? You know what's weird is the only time, well, not the only time, okay, one of the times that I found myself somewhere, okay, when I was meditating deeply and I found myself somewhere else that was not my body. And in that moment, I was in a cage, a fucking rusty ass bird fucking cage looking thing. Like there were leather straps hanging off of like an old barn wall, and I was like, what the fuck is this? And I remember when I had come back to my body, I remember thinking that, did I look outside of the game or somehow? Or I don't know. But it was just a weird, it was like an old shitty barn, a rusty fucking bird cage. I was just like, what the fuck is this place? I think that there were other things in the cage that were also realities like this one. But Kedge92 wrote back to user, having DP/DR makes me believe that also. What's that mean? DP/DR. I don't know what that means. Having DP plus DR. I don't know. And then user replied back to Kedge saying, interesting, I just searched for what that meant. For some reason on the I wake back up out of a K-hole with this happy relief. Oh, I know what ketamine is. Relief that this is all a giant joke, but at the same time can't remember why. Sort of like DMT. Well, how do I would say it's interesting that when we're on these substances, we take so literal and believable the experiences that we have. Because you could have a different one the next time you do it. It could be totally different. But I also fell into the K-hole before. I know what that feels like. That was weird. That was really weird. None of us were moving normally. Kedge wrote, yeah, honestly, dealing with feeling like it's a simulation gives me more validity to checking out. My plan was to check out this year, but of course the addiction to family and whatnot keeps me attached. Yeah, me too, Kedge. R. Phipps wrote, Chris, my blood is boiling constantly from this shit at 25:16, and the people I know can't fathom why I'm so upset. Fuck. I don't know what I said at 25 minutes. What was that? Illusion of free will. My blood is boiling constantly from this shit. I don't remember what I said at that time. Rob also wrote, good people in progress don't make loosh. If it don't make loosh, then it ain't happening. That would be a good explanation why good never gets promoted, good ideas get squashed, good people die so young. Again, if they have the louder the voice, the worse it is for them. This time I remembered, guys, not only did I grab fucking water, I grabbed motherfucking apple juice too, so I don't have a dried out mouth. Oh man, that's right. I was actually going to make I'm a urine drinker joke now with the apple juice, but I forgot about it. But anyways, that is urine therapy or whatever they say, where I mean, there was I was watching a documentary on that shit, man. Like they're actually saying that there's like receptors under your tongue that when your urine, which is really just purified blood, like when you're peeing out, it's purified blood, but hits like underneath your tongue, that it relays messages to the body of things that the body needs, almost like putting the computer's information back in it helps it. I don't know. I was like, what the fuck? You actually got people that drink their urine. Like, for real, they drink their fucking piss every day. Actually, there was what's his name? He was one of the flat earthers. Dave. Dave, he's a black, bald-headed English dude. Dave, the fuck's his name? Anyways, he was a flat earther, and he was on a show, show, and he was talking about flat earth. He, I'm pretty sure, did urine drinking and fasting. He fasted and only drank his urine for like fucking months. Like months. Like, holy, oh my God. But he said that it got to the point where his urine did not taste, he would pee it out and it tasted like coconut juice or coconut water. It didn't have a bad taste, but that's all he was doing was drinking his own piss. Like, what the fuck? Anyways, I mean, I guess if it was like coconut water, it wouldn't be that bad, but I'm picturing, piss in a fucking public stall, just brown piss, like, ugh, man, this motherfucker drinking piss, like, ugh. Anyways, R. Phipps wrote, I agree 100%, I feel exactly the same way. My only fear is having to do this again and again, and yeah, if we are such powerful God souls, so beautiful and powerful and wise, and He wrote, we got fooled into this bullshit. So how much how much power can we possess? He wrote, all this shit is just hopium. Truth is, we are Mario and Luigi, and only we know it, but it will ruin our copes if we admit it. Just like Mario, the simulation can be paused and restarted, and has been many times. Will Mario go to heaven or be released from the Nintendo at some point? No, Rob. Okay, well, hold on, let me finish this. He wrote, no. Will we? No. I hope the space dog chews up the cosmic Nintendo we are in. This game blows for real. That was a funny comment, but I think that when we play the game as a soul creature, we're having a different type of entity's experience. We're experiencing, okay, so we're not just playing the game, we're having the experience of being somebody else, like to a degree, because it has to be scripted. Otherwise, we would just be like us. But then that also creates conflict within us, doesn't it? Because the avatar isn't how we really truly are to a degree. It's like a weird dynamic. Baba Black Sheep wrote, it's hard to see knots and crosses being sprayed in the sky. That shit gets sprayed here in Australia, but when I watch shows from the USA and Europe, it's crazy obvious. Are you kidding me, Baba? If I went out and took pictures of above my house every day, you'd be like, what the fuck? Are they like spraying you specifically? It looks that way. Yeah, like for real. It'd be like fucking 8 of them right over my house every day. I look at the rest of the fucking sky. I'm like, man, my goodness, man, can't you guys spray some fucking buddy else every once in a while, you fucking bastards? The fuck is that shit, man? I don't like that shit, but I'm literally forced into this fucking hell realm where I have demon rats doing shit to me that I don't agree with from a fucking distance, like weak, pathetic little demon. Dude, if I could get my hands on him, bro, it'd be like Roadhouse. I'm telling you, I'd rip that boy's throat out and spin kick his bitch ass into a fucking pond. Except I do it in a pond with the alligator so he could fucking get eaten and turned into shit. Stacey Adams wrote, thank you for your insight. I get so confused of this. That wasn't funny. I appreciate you, Stacey, and welcome, but to get a thank you for your great insight after having a moment of killing somebody and turning them into lizard shit. That was just funny to me. I'm sorry. But anyways, T-Fats wrote, both videos, yeah, my guess, we are awareness that brings thoughts into light. Thought is a virus that goes from person to person, one to the next. Thoughts breed, they bring more thoughts. It would seem that the world may need to stop thinking, let the minds be silent collectively. No thought at all. Then I love thought experiments like this comment, T, but then it's also simultaneously depressing because I know humanity would never do something like this. It's like we can't get a group of individuals to agree on anything in this reality. You think we could get like the whole world to fucking just not think and meditate even for an hour? If you said, okay, all of reality, all of humanity agrees that we're going to try this thought experiment and not think for as long as we can starting now. I don't think there's 7 billion people. I'm not even sure if there's a billion people in this reality, but I think all the numbers are skewed. They definitely are when you look at the evidence. But anyways, let's say there are 7 billion. There'd be at least 3 billion or 4 billion, maybe 5 billion that ain't doing it. They're just doing whatever they were going to do that day anyway. So it is what it is, dude. It's but I mean, I like the ideas of these. Like, man, if everybody did this or if everybody did that, but it is hope, yeah, man. We couldn't get a group of fucking humans to get along with each other anywhere in fucking reality. What makes us think? Well, anyways, I hate to be pessimistic, but I have to be honest. He wrote, thoughts breed, they bring more thoughts. It would seem that the world needs to stop thinking. I already read that. Then what would happen? Love is evil backwards. Evil because it's a sadistic trap that keeps you here staying because the other wants to stay. They don't see or understand what's going on. They believe what they are told. Absolutely. Most people do. I don't think it's stupidity. Like, I used to think it was dumbness, but you can have people that have fucking multiple PhDs, like very smart, intelligent. You can even have logical people believe in this dumb shit. And it has nothing to do with intelligence. It's nothing to do with intelligence. It's naivety. It's naivety. They just don't believe somebody could pull something like that off. And that's a very logical belief. That's a very logical belief. That's why they will never get past that point. Because for you to get past that point, reality has to become something weird or strange. Something odd's going on here. How are they doing this every day? How are they getting away with this? And how's that possible? Reality becomes a very different place if you take on that belief. So yeah, I think they're just naive and sort of, well, I don't know, maybe uninterested. Maybe they are NPCs. I mean, I don't know. He wrote, mind control, aka government, could only keep things stable if all things were all chaotic at once. All thoughts, all possibilities, control isn't the same as well. They absolutely contribute to the chaos. That's absolute, without questions. It would take an intelligent second grader to recognize that. There's a reason the news is always bad. There's a reason the news is always negative. Oh, because that's what sells. It's like, no, because they need you. All of humanity constantly in fear. Well, not to mention if they went on and said life's beautiful over rainbows, that wouldn't be all that genuine either. But they definitely don't talk about good news. He wrote, not only do they give into the conflicts, they're the ones that fund the conflict. They're the ones that create the conflict. They fund both sides. They're just, it's so obvious. If you're even a basic researcher, it's so obvious. All you have to do is follow the fucking money. It's really not that complicated. But we still haven't figured out how to defeat these demonic fucking mafioso, narcissistic, demonic, Luciferian, Satan-worshipping fucking psychopaths. Baby blood-drinking little fucking cannibals and weirdo boys that need to have their fucking heads fucking kicked in. He wrote, it's not getting people to believe the same thing. It's convincing everyone, everything exists as is. I don't know why, just the visual image of somebody getting their head kicked in just popped in my mind. It did not look gruesome. It actually looked kind of funny, but it's not, I'm sorry, he wrote, let me get on this comment. It's not getting people to believe the same thing. It's convincing everyone everything exists as is from their own perspectives and accepted thoughts and propaganda. Nothing comes into question, into light, into view without awareness. We are needed for this, as awareness creates the dream. It's just a bunch of nothing until we become aware of ourselves. Then suddenly we are in a surrounding with a situation and a body. I don't really understand the last part. What? We are needed for this as awareness creates the dream. It's just a bunch of nothing until we become aware of ourselves. Then suddenly we are in a surrounding with a situation and a body. I don't really know what you meant by that last part, T. I'm a little bit confused, if I'm being honest. Oh, I accidentally clicked your heart off. My bad. I clicked it back on. Denkeeper wrote, free won't. T-Fetch replied, that's my philosophy. Never coming back replied to T-Fetch, remember, Denkeeper have said publicly that he thinks people who CTB are weak people. So, just so you know, man, this dude never coming back here is looking at everybody and saying that they're saying shit he don't like. It's like, never coming back here. People are going to have different opinions than you. If you need every single human being in reality to agree with every single thought you have, you're going to find yourself very fucking alone in this place. I don't mind being alone. That's actually my most cherished time, is being alone, left alone. But I also want to relate to people. So like, Denkeeper could say 1,000 things you agree with, but then he says some shit you disagree with, and do you cut them off immediately? I can't really blame you for being that way. I sort of used to be that way. I've kind of grown past that. Like everybody's a fucking retard meat monkey. We're all doing the best we can. It's really hard to judge people for me now. It's really difficult for me to judge people. I mean, I could still do it. I could judge situations, engage situations and all that, but it's very difficult for me to totally just look at somebody as demonic from one action or doing one shitty thing or two shitty things or even three shitty things. Again, it depends what they've done and how the level of it, but I've become like a more forgiving person. What am I talking about here? I don't know. What did Den say? Something you didn't agree with? Never coming back? It's fine, dude. You don't have to go on every comment and say, well, this dude said some shit I don't like, and this dude says, like, it's fine, dude. Like, really. Or I would say make a channel and say, speak your mind. I don't know if this dude has a channel, but Danielle 86 wrote, you are my favorite channel. I'm very grateful to you. Grateful to not feel so alone with these thoughts and feelings. You know the way I talk about those electric pops popping off of my monitor or my screen or my computer? One just happened. That's what they sound like. I don't know if you guys heard that. That was a pretty good one. Thank you, Danielle. I appreciate that. If I'm your favorite channel, I really appreciate that. Thank you. It means a lot to me. Ryan Benny wrote, everything was already here long before we got here. The whole system was already in place, but every book, every bit of information, every word, everything. What if there's literally no truth in this world? I think there isn't, Ryan. Well, okay. Again, it's one of those things. It's like both at the same time, right? It's like there's definitely truths. 4 plus 4 is what? Everybody knows the answer to that. What's my name? Everybody knows the answer to that. There's a truth. How many brothers did I have growing up? There's truths. But if you're talking about like, why are we here? What are we supposed to do here? Is there what's the meaning of this realm? You will absolutely not find that truth. How many people have been looking for it for how long? I mean, somebody would have found it by now. You know what I'm saying? It's like we're obviously in this fluid type of realm that can present almost truths, but not any real good solidified ones. It's a weird reality. I mean, I'm telling you guys, keep looking at it. You'll figure it out eventually. Maybe I think sometimes it's a level of conscious thing, because I could say what I've said. I'm not saying Ryan doesn't understand what I'm saying. I'm just saying. But I think I could say some things. Not that I think I know this because I've personally experienced this myself, where somebody said something to me, and I wasn't there to understand it yet. Another pop just happened. That happens all the time in here. I'm glad they're happening on fucking camera, because I mean, I'll do a whole video and it won't happen. It's like, man, it was an hour-long video. I hear them constantly. But anyways, what was I saying? I ended up losing my train of thought because of these stupid fucking pops. But give me one sec, guys. Oh, guys, so the point that I was making is that some of these things I say I actually feel are very extremely profound, but just sometimes people don't think about it that way until they get there. But keep looking for the truth. You'll say to yourself one day, man, Chris back then was saying that shit, and I wasn't there yet. Trust me. Keep looking for the truth. You'll understand exactly what I'm talking about. It's a dreamlike realm where there's no solidified truths. They're all just like, and there's even opposing truths, like the earth being flat or a ball, and both arguments have evidence to back them up. There's opposing truths, like the government actually cares about people and is trying its best to make this reality balanced and normal. And then there's people that say they're all a bunch of demonic, evil fucking psychopaths. I'm kind of on that team. Evidence to back up both arguments every time. Every fucking time. There's no truth in this realm. There's just a bunch of almost truths. He wrote, like, the truth isn't in this place. I don't know if I'm making sense. You're making sense. He wrote, might have to make my own video so I can explain it better. That'd be awesome. Let me open his thing up. I didn't know he made videos. He wrote, simulation equals we all experience our own sun. Are you familiar with that? Gives evidence to simulation. Goddamn, I'm about to get to work on my very first video because of you, brother. Nobody... Oh, that's awesome. That'd be super cool, Benny. That actually... Okay, dude, this is like what I would call a manifestation, because if you do, I hope you do, Benny. Fucking good luck to you, dude. Just do it. Make it happen. Make it work. Let me finish the comment. I'm sorry, because that made me extremely happy. I hope you do that. So I can explain better about simulation. We all experience our own sun. Are you familiar with that? I don't know what you mean by that. We all experience our own sun. I know that when the sperm enters the egg, there's a flash of light that looks like a sun. Gives evidence to simulation. God damn, I'm about to get to work on my very first video because of you, brother. That would be so awesome and a great, I don't know, way to pay off. Like, I love that. That'd be amazing. Nobody likes you, and that face you made when you said it, laugh out loud, had me rolling. Oh, when I was talking to fucking Satan or evil, whatever, the Archon. Like, I hate that fucking name with my heart, Benny. Thank you. But that was, I've always said, like, why don't you guys just make YouTube videos? Like, it's not that hard. Like, even you guys, like, we need more truthers in the realm. But it's just like, if I actually converted one into one, that'd be awesome. That'd be super cool. Anyways, Ryan Benny wrote, little off topic, but it is a random thought just popped in my head. There is this new little man-made lake like a mile from me. I would like to go fishing, but I'm not going to because I don't want to buy a goddamn license or whatever else they charge for. I'm trying to learn as much about not needing a driver's license, tags, plates, etc. as yeah. That's good information to have, but honestly, if the worst possible scenario takes, well, not the worst possible scenario takes place, but let's say, the economy collapsed and everything went to hell, none of those things are really going to matter anyway. It's like no cop's going to pull you over and ask for your driver's license. Like the cops are going to be at home trying to protect their families. So I don't think those things are super important, but like staying out of the system, staying out of the matrix. There is no out of the matrix. What do you think if you live out in the woods somewhere, growing all your own fruits and vegetables? And believe me, I'm one to preach. I would love to create my own farmstead and live off my own food and not have to eat any more whatever is going on. Like, I don't know what these people put in the food. I know every time I research what they're putting in the food, it comes back with bad news, but that is what I want to do. But really, you're still not out of the matrix. You're just over there and in the matrix. R. Phipps wrote, hell yeah, thanks, Chris. You're welcome. You're welcome, R. Phipps. Sue wrote, it was the obvious Mandela effects that they can't see or refuse to see that did it for me. There are no waking for these people. Thanks, Chris. You're welcome, Sue. I have a bunch of Mandela effects. I clearly fucking remember Jiffy Pete. Like, not kinda, not sorta, not, that's a blurry memory. Like, absolutely. I have fucking memories attached to these when these things were different. So it's like when Jiffy Peanut Butter shortened the name to Jif. I remember the thought. Walking in the kitchen, I still remember. I walked in the kitchen and seen it sitting on the counter. And it said Jif instead of Jiffy. And I thought in my mind, now it's even dumber. I didn't like Jiffy, just so you guys know, or Jif. I didn't like it because I was young then. I wanted my mom to get Peter Pan because I wanted to be able to fly and shit, you know what I'm saying? But I came out and I looked at it and I go, look, that shit's even dumber now because they shortened to Jif, and Jif sounds like Biff. Biff was the bad guy in fucking Back to the Future or whatever. And I just always thought that was a stupid fucking name. Biff. It's like, what the fuck? What a corny name this little dumb boy had. He was actually a big dumb boy, but anyways, Biff. But I remember, how could I have that memory if that never happened? Why would I, in my brain at a certain age, remember this brand? Well, anyways, it's bizarre, but there's a lot of them. J.C. Penney used to be Penny. It wasn't Penne. Chick-fil-A used to be C-H-I-C. It wasn't C-H-I-C-K. That's a new phenomenon to me. I actually remember, I know this is a weird one. Not everybody's going to agree with this one, but I remember McDonald's being McDonald's. Before they shortened it to McDonald's, it was called McDonald's. It wasn't McDonald's. It was McDonald's. And I would remember there'd be some adults that would say McDonald's and some adults that would say McDonald's. And I would watch them because I would get in arguments with my brother because he was saying, why do you say that? It's McDonald's. And I say, it's motherfucker, it's obviously M-A-C. Motherfucker, can't you see it? Can't you read McDonald's? It ain't McDonald's. But then they started making like the McFlurry and the McFlies, and they shortened the name. Or at least I thought they did. But no, it was never McDonald's. But they called it the Big Mac, though. They called their best sandwich the Big Mac, not the Big Mick. Isn't it a fucking Scottish family that owns McDonald's? Why would they call their company McDonald's? You know, if you called a Scottish person a Mick, they'd punch you in the mouth. You know, if you called an Irish person a Mac, they'd probably punch you in the mouth. Like, these are two totally, anyway, it's like, why would they name their burger the Big Mac if it's a fucking, if it's McDonald's? Wouldn't they call it the Big Mick? Anyways, user wrote, which one did it for you? The Berenstain Bears, Forrest Gump, Star Wars, those three undeniable. I remember the Forrest Gump one. I've seen that movie 100 times. I do remember him saying, life is like a box of chocolates. You never know what you're going to get. He didn't say life was like a box of chocolates. That wouldn't even make no sense. Life was like a box of chocolates. Well, what's it like now? What's it like now? What do you mean life was like a box of chocolates? That don't even make no sense. But anyway, that's what he says now. Interview with a vampire, interview with the vampire. It's supposed to be interview with a vampire because he's interviewing Brad Pitt. He's not the vampire. If anything, Tom Cruise was the vampire. He was just a vampire. So it's interview with a vampire. But No, now it's called Interview with the Vampire. Like it's the main vampire. It's like that dude ain't the main vampire. Pretty sure there's got to be vampires way older than Tom Cruise. Anyways, he wrote, and it's absolutely insanity when anyone tries to talk their way out of them not being a thing. Them being able to change history is pretty wild. Just recently, now did they change history, or do they have a technology that can alter memories in the human mind? These are important questions. I mean, I know that's a scary place to go and all that, but you look at documents from the 1950s when the CIA was using those old school fucking shitty tube TVs to actually alter people's moods, drives, hormones, all kinds of shit. They were doing that in the 50s. What the fuck are they doing now? Everybody's got a goddamn screen in front of their fucking face all the time. Who knows what they do? I know they make people docile. User wrote, just recently I remember watching World War II Germany footage that doesn't exist anymore. Unspeakable acts, shooting people on their knees into ditches, Hitler squeezing the trigger himself, etc. This was in the early 90s and I can't find any of the footage anywhere. Oh, is it the Germans that are changing history then? That'd be interesting. There's actually a conspiracy theory that the Germans actually did win World War II or whatever. They had a UFO technology and they just dominated the Americans. Like they were the ones that attacked Admiral Byrd and everything, and they were basically like, hey, we own you bitches, go back. Like there's people that believe that. So that could kind of fit into that belief that Nazi Germany actually did win the war and they've erased their evil deeds and all that or something, you know. Sue wrote, because, you know, we all say that the little hats are in control, and the little hats would probably love to have Hitler look as demonic and evil as possible, so that footage would not just go missing. So it wasn't them that changed it, if it was anybody, right? Like, I don't know. Sue wrote, it was the dollar sign. It only, oh God, yeah, I remember. The dollar sign used to have 2 slashes. Now it only has one. It only has one hash line now, and always has. My reality had 2. So many residuals. The Bitcoin sign has 2, and the NPCs can't see it. Yeah, that's another big one, I guess you could say. I clearly remember the dollar sign. I actually did an art piece when I was in middle school, I think, that had a huge dollar sign in it, but it was 3D. It was like a 3D block dollar sign, and I had to do the 2 lines, and with the S there, you know, to be careful. There's certain, well, anyways, you have to be an artist to know what I'm talking about. But anyways, user wrote, so I clearly remember that, like, I did an art piece that had a huge dollar sign made of stone with 2 lines in it. Like, why would I have done that? Well, anyways, user replied back to Sue, whoa, never even noticed that. Oh, yeah, that was another one that was like, dude, I clearly remember the dollar sign having 2 fucking slashes. Clearly remember it having, like, clearly. Oh, well, let me think of, not even close to that realm of thought. Not even a toe in the realm of curiosity. Maybe I'm thinking of wrong. No. Clearly fucking remember it. I have memories doing things about these signs and symbols and things that have changed. How's that possible? Unless if there's a they and they literally have a technology to go in and rewrite history into a different type of way of being. No, I don't know. I think that I think there's slight changes in the multiverse reality, and I think that me, you, and everybody else has died a lot more times than they realize they've died. You've probably actually died already like 100 times in your life. I'm pretty sure I've died quite a few. And I think that reality changes just ever so slightly every time, and little things like that will change. But you as a multiverse entity goes on. You don't die. I don't think we die. We see other people die. I don't know. I don't know. I believe some crazy shit, but anyways. I think we keep going. It's a multiverse reality. We will realize it eventually. And I think in all other verses, we will eventually die. Like the avatar that we are to the people around us will die, but what we are goes on forever. R. Phipps wrote, what up, Doe? Yeah, so this reality is not the same one I was in, say, 20 years ago. It just isn't. Like when I drive and it's foggy, the fog is like, man, my mouth is dry as a motherfucker. The fog is like too oily or too dry. Shit ain't rendering properly. I played guitar from 13 to 45. I was in bands, and that was all I focus on, and I was good at it then. One day I put it down and have never even thought about it. A friend I hadn't seen in a very long time saw me and asked me how the music biz was going, and I said, how would I know? He almost fell out, y'all. What I'm saying is this shit is tampered with and it's false. This is a simulation. It just is. Wait, why are you saying that, Rob? You're saying that because you stopped playing the guitar one day? I don't really understand what you're saying. He wrote, man, I'm having that like breathing issue again, where I'm like conscious of my breathing for some reason. It does this now every once in a while when I make it. It's some sort of fucking, probably some low-level demon bullshit attack. Just take a deep breath. And you've just outwitted the little fuckboy. Anyways, Rob Phipps wrote, what about this for an explanation? Just throwing stuff at the wall. So the simulators wanted to know what would a world be like where Mario eventually would find out that he is in a video game and see how that would serve the simulators. Fuck, I don't know. I just know this shit isn't legit. It just ain't. I can feel joy or hurt. I have the worst case of anhedonia. And then he put in parentheses, when you can't feel anything. We are fucked, y'all. Rob is speaking from his personal perspective, guys. Keep that in mind. Rob, I know it feels that way some days. It does. It feels like all hope is gone. Like, man, we're fucked and blah, blah. Just don't believe it, man. I just don't believe it. I don't know. I just don't really believe it, though. There's still a huge part of my brain that almost in a childlike way smile at how serious I take the reality some days, because I sort of know that it's just a shitty little video game I'm playing as a soul. It really wasn't all that important anyways. I'd say if it was, it would be more obvious. If our lives and our existence was important, it would be more obvious. He wrote, I also have a huge case of detachment, depersonalization. Me as well, too, Rob. Lately, that's one of the detrimental things of detaching all the time. You almost sort of lose your damn self. You detach all the time. You sort of lose who you are, because who you are was that man that would think about these things. But you sort of forget who you were, which is, I'll say a lot of people cannot deal with that mentally. They can't. Some people lose their fucking minds when they experience that. Depends on the individual, how they handle it. He wrote, I believe this is how Mario would feel probably. Yo, watch out for the baddies and get all the fucking coins you can. Fuck this garbage game. Amen. British Empires replied back to Rob, indeed, we're probably AI inside this flat earth digital realm construct thinking we're humans. That's possible. That's possible. That's why it's not completely dismissible theory. I could not argue with 100% certainty that I'm not some sort of AI generated creature. I couldn't. I just couldn't. I'm going to do this last couple and then I'm going to cut this one off, guys. Stacy wrote, it's so good to see your face and hear you speak about things that no one else talks about except our little group. That makes me feel better just knowing there are others like us. Thank you, Stacy. That means a lot to me. She also wrote, I hate it here, but I still like to tell people around me how much I enjoy them, just hoping it might make them feel better. I do. I usually try to lift other people's spirits too, Stacy. Again, this channel is my vent. It is my release, to be honest, of a lot of the negative thoughts. But I do try to lift people's spirits in person. I'm not a perfect person. Some days I have shitty days. Today was a shitty day. Again, I got some great news a minute ago, but this day did not start well. It started fucking horribly. But Never Coming Back Here replied back to Stacy, don't. You perpetuate life doing that, giving them false hope, and in some cases, you are reasonable for. Are you giving them false hope, or are you just giving them a happy moment? Like, if you giving somebody a happy moment in life all of a sudden gives them hope, I mean, I don't know. I've never experienced that. Like, I just had a happy moment, all of a sudden I'm like, yeah, life's great, and I mean, I don't know. Well, I would say I don't know, but he wrote, and in some cases, you are responsible for people resorting to procreating. Hey, but let me say this. The human mind's very interesting, right? I talk about all the bad things about it. Let's talk about some things you can do. If you're searching for happiness again, the human mind's a very programmable device. Like you can repeat mantras in your mind. I love everybody. I forgive everybody. Uh, I'm so appreciative that I woke up today. Like if you just say these things over and over in your mind, I don't know if maybe the mind virus leaves eventually because it's a demonic evil thing and hearing positivity drives it crazy. But you eventually enter a positive state, believe it or not. So you can literally fake it till you make it if it really matters. Here, in some cases, you are responsible for people resorting to procreating as a result. Just ignore people. We need to suck this system dry. He put a star on suck like it was a curse word. I don't think, is that a curse word to say suck? Suck, no, because what if you say my vacuum wasn't sucking well? Like you're not going to not say that in front of a kid or whatever. Anyways, no, I would say, do I agree with no? Okay, are you selling them false hope? Well, that's a bold statement. I don't know if she's selling people false hope. Stacey, I would say keep being positive. There just isn't that much of it in this reality, and it's good to be good. It feels good. It sort of is a selfish thing to do as well. Let's be brutally honest here. If you're a people pleaser, doing good things feels good, doesn't it? Like it is sort of selfish. Like let's be realistic. Skeptic wrote, yeah, it was chemtrails for me too. Yeah, that's when it got weird. I was like, wait a sec, so y'all see those, right? And they'd be like, yeah, are you talking about those lines? Like, yeah. Like, yeah, haven't those always been around? Like, no. No, when I was a kid, you would see them at a far distance. I don't know, jets flew way higher back in the day, and usually the trail was about, from the visual perspective, standing on the ground like a 1/4 inch long, and it would dissipate with the plane. So you never really seen like a line that went across the sky because it would dissipate with the plane. The line was here before when he was flying over there, but the ice crystals that are a contrail have dissipated into fucking nothing. Into oxygen. There's nothing there anymore. There's no trail. Now they fly fucking 10 of them across the sky and they sit in the sky for 6 fucking hours in the Florida heat on a fucking day where it's humid and it's 110 degrees. You know what I'm saying? Not 110. That'd be a fucking, even for Florida, that's a hot ass day. But you get what I'm saying? It's like, what do you mean they've always been that way? No, they haven't. Contrails dissipated. They're ice crystals, for Christ's sakes. What are you talking about? They can't just float around forever. What kind of ice crystals are we talking about? Anti-gravity ice crystals? I'm sorry, anyways. Infinite Corridors replied back to skeptics. I remember when I lived in Phoenix around 2010, and one evening I tried to show my sister the sky was covered in a literal grid pattern of crisscross chemtrails, and she just says, no, I don't see what you're talking about. Laugh out loud. I'm like, what the fuck is wrong with you? Oh, I've never had, they usually acknowledge them, but then they swear, oh yeah, I've always seen those. Like, no, you haven't. How long have you been alive, motherfucker? They started doing them 15 years ago. And they didn't start admitting to what they were doing until a couple years ago. Let's be honest with that too. Because for whatever it was, 10, 15 years, they lied about it. They just denied they were even doing it. Oh, no. We're spraying certain scraps into the atmosphere. What scraps? Are they metal? What are you spraying? Yeah, we're reflecting the sunlight back to reduce global warming. But you guys are talking about taxing us for this fucking green footprint and all that shit. Like, so you guys, what are you talking about? I thought you were going to reduce the global warming with these fucking chemtrails. It's a little odd that you lied about it for 10 years, though. Why did you deny it all that time? If that's what you're doing, this righteous thing. Oh, no, we're helping the world by reducing global warming. You're doing the right thing. Why the fuck did you lie for over a decade, you fucking lying, deceptive, obvious to see demonic little parasites? I hope you all fucking burn from the inside out. I want to watch you all die in front of me. Never coming back here wrote, reply to that, I've been thinking trails might only affect NPCs, but who knows? No, I think that this thing is trying to completely trap souls here permanently. I think it's trying to lower the state of the human conscious down to such a level that it's easy to manipulate and control us, and that's just one aspect of reality it's using against us. Like I said, there's a war going on right now. I know that's crazy and that sounds crazy to people, but there's a lot more to this reality that we're not told, and catch you guys on the next one.